So hello, my name is Betsy Biggs, and I'm a new faculty member here at CMCI in the Critical Media Practices Department. And I just want to say it's been so great listening to all the work that people are doing across the college. It's really exciting. At the beginning I thought, oh, those first couple of people I really have something in common with, and now I kind of feel like I want to talk to everybody. So thank you, all of you who presented your work. So I'm teaching in the Department of Critical Media Practices, as I mentioned, and we're all about making interdisciplinary media work that engages with the world, that really combines emergent technologies with creative nonfiction. So how can we make art that really reflects our engagement with the world? So what does that mean? Well, for instance, some of my colleagues make documentary films, video installations, and multimedia theater works, animation. I myself am trained as a composer, and I work with sound and video to create everything from string quartets to photography projects to multimedia theater to sound installation in order to explore ideas about place. And I think of myself as a kind of wanderer, collecting fragments of sound and image and then putting them together, recontextualizing them, slowing them down and layering them to communicate moments of heightened experience, to really try to get across the emotional experience I have with place. And at a time when technology seems to really silo us, I really am passionate about the idea that we need to learn to use it as a means of connection. We need to learn how we can reach out and engage with not only other people, but also with our surroundings and with other species. So actually, most of my talk today will be not a talk about my research, since I'm an artist, but I want to talk about how the act of collecting sounds from a place and investigating them helps me to feel that I'm somehow getting at the crux of experience. And what I wanted to do was just show you some of the custom software that I've made and just give you a little behind the scenes tour and how it works and do a very short, obviously, performance. So let me get out of there to here, and then I need to just mirror this quickly. Display. Okay. So what you see here is some software that I made using a programming language called Max 7. And it's really pretty simple. What you see here are sound files. Many of you have seen sound files before, but perhaps some of you have not. They're waveforms that kind of show the amplitude and the loudness over time. So to do this, I've made these sort of graphic interfaces so that I can just turn it on. I start it. Here is the master gain that turns up the main audio, and then these are each different channels. So you could think of them as channels in a mixer, as faders. So I'll bring this up. Here is this channels 1 and 2. And this is a recording that I made at Queens College in, well, as you can see, 2001. When I was, as I'm a composer, I was working, trying to write an orchestra piece. And I've always really loved the sound of an orchestra tuning up. And to me, there's a magical moment. And I think that there's some meaning there, right? When I try to parse it, there's something interesting about this idea of waiting, this idea of anticipation, and this idea of beauty being perhaps sometimes in those in-between moments. Okay, so this is the source file, right? This is just a snippet of what I recorded that I really enjoyed. And what I try to do is I try to take little pieces of it. So for instance, I might take that very beginning part that's just that note. Right? And I can use something called time stretching to keep the pitch, but to make it much slower, to make it take a longer time. So let's say that I want to do it at 2/100ths of its initial speed. And by clicking on this, here, that loops it. Right? So I can hold tight to that. Then what I might want to do is take the same little snippet over here, and I will loop it. Let me get that a little down, and I'll bring this up. And I'm going to do this at at half of it. And if you're at half of the speed of something, it shows up actually an octave lower, for those of you who know anything about music, and you can hear that. Right, so if I want to stretch it, I can say I also want the pitch to be at half speed, but maybe I want this to be a little slower, like. And if I want to bring that up, right, that sounds pretty good. Now I can just go back in and I can say, well, perhaps I want to have that section So I'll often do improvisations like this that are, 15 or 20 minutes long. This is a bit unstructured, but I just wanted to give you a sense of that. And I wanted to just say that one of the things that I read last year that really made an imprint on me was that there's a definition of the word sublime in, I can bring that down. There's a definition of the word sublime in the hard sciences, which I'm sure I will mangle, but that it's essentially an idea of bringing something from the solid state to a gas and then back to a solid state. And I really loved that because I think that in a way that's what I try to do. I try to spin these solid places and images and sounds into something poetic that then can come across to an embodied experience for somebody else. So thank you all for listening. I'm sorry for the slight technical difficulties, and I look forward to talking to you all.